You know, when we usually talk about getting help with our work, it is almost always about speed.
Right. Like, how fast can I get this off my desk?
Yeah. Or how can I do less work? We just end up moving tasks around.
We treat it like a machine. You put a task in and, well, work comes out. But today we are doing a deep dive into a guide from a site called VA Gods, and they say we have it all wrong.
Yeah, VA Gods talks about something called ethical delegation. It sounds like a big role, but it really just means being a good boss, being fair to your helpers.
Exactly. If you treat your virtual assistants or VAs like machines, they will just quit.
But if you treat them like real partners, your business grows.
Right. It builds a team that actually wants to help you. The VA Gods Guide is super clear. It is all about respect and trust. And it starts with a simple rule: consent.
That part really stood out to me. Usually a boss just says, do this now.
Yeah, they just give orders.
But VA Guide says you need to ask, do you actually have time for this?
Yeah.
Or are you okay doing this kind of work?
It just makes sense. If you dump work on someone, they might say yes because they are, scared to say no to the boss.
Yeah, they are scared. And then they get way too tired, they get stressed out.
And the work turns out bad.
Which leads right into the benefits. We really need to focus on the benefits here and why this is good for the boss. Because VA Gods lists some huge reasons.
Oh, definitely. The first big benefit is simple teamwork. Happy people just work better.
They really do.
Yeah.
And they don't get burnout.
Right. Burnout is when you are so tired you cannot even think.
Yeah.
If your VA feels safe and happy, they just do not get burnout.
And if they don't burn out, they don't quit. That is the biggest benefit for me.
Oh, for sure.
VA Gods calls this staying power. If I spend months teaching a helper how to run my business, I do not want them to leave.
Finding new people takes so much time. And VA Gods also points out another big benefit: your reputation.
People talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you are a good boss, the best workers will want to come work for you.
So being fair actually saves you time and saves you money. Now, I want to talk about where these workers live. We really need to focus on localization.
This part is super interesting. The team at VA Gods is actually based in the UK.
Right.
Specifically, they are in a town called Yeovil in Somerset.
That is a very specific place.
It is. But even though they live in Yeovil, they work with helpers all over the whole world. So they warn us to focus on cultural differences.
Right, because localization really matters. What is super polite in the UK might confuse a worker somewhere else.
Exactly. Or what feels normal to a boss in the US might seem mean to a VA in another country.
So VA God says you have to actually learn about the people you work with. You cannot just guess.
If you do not understand where they live, you might get mad over a tiny mistake. And it wasn't even their fault, it was just a mix-up.
And that makes total sense. So to make this work, we also need good tools. You cannot just send a bunch of messy emails.
No, VA God says you should use simple tools like Slack or Microsoft Teams or Asana and Trello.
Those let everyone see what needs to be done.
Right. But the tool only works if you have trust. And if you train them.
You have to teach your helpers what you want. You cannot expect them to just read your mind.
That is the real trick. VA God says if you train your team and you give them new skills, they become much more than just simple helpers.
They can actually help you fix big problems.
They do. It changes how you think about hiring. You are not just buying someone's time, you are building a real team.
And as VA God shows us, it is just a smarter way to work.
It really is.
So here is a final thought for you to take away today. If you treat your assistant like a true partner instead of just a helper, how much more could you build together? Thanks for joining our deep dive.